By the way, I hype myself up all the time. Life is not easy, guys, for anybody. For anybody. So I remember a couple of weeks ago, just like Amachita Paya, my girlfriend is here, hello. But just like Amachita Paya, in the past, Nama had an issue, Namantombazana. And I remember saying, Father, I pray for all girls. Okay, I want to talk about 5 things and sit down. They gave me 10 minutes and I want to quickly do it and sit down. Quickly do it and sit down. So my topic today is the fight for a lasting legacy. The fight for a lasting legacy. I am committed every day of my life to build something that I will leave behind and it will still represent me, my thoughts and everything else. I met some entrepreneurs and he said, actually, you know, some of us entrepreneurs, we don't do this thing for money, we do it for that big thing. And that's my feeling with Skinny Sibusiso. I've been with it for the past 5 years. So I will tell you my story, and through my story I'll give you a case study, and through that case study I hope you'll take something back home to go and build a lasting legacy yourself. Igama lami Sibusiso Ngwenya. I'm a 26-year-old entrepreneur. Ngibuye eTsakane, ngikhulele emkhukhwini. I always say that so that we remember ukuthi ngibuyaphi. Bafethu ngikhulele emkhukhwini hayi lo fence. Umkhukhu lo ongena amanzi makuna. And I remember looking at the situation at home and I said, you know what, this is not me and this doesn't end here. And my life, my purpose is bigger than this. And I'm committed to something bigger than what's happening. But I'm also happy looking back right now in hindsight that I was born in that situation. Because guys, I'm on my way to the top. Let's not be Stevie Wonder about my situation. I'm about to pop. I'm about to pop in a big way, like in a major scary way. I talk about it every day because I'm calling it. I'm saying I'm about to pop in the next level of stardom and the next level of fortune. That's where I'm going. So it's such a funny story when you look at where I'm going and what happened. I was raised by my beautiful late grandmother, Umimi Salamina Molakeng. Ekhaya besithengisa yonke into you can imagine. Besithengisa ama-tighty, ama-slippers, ama-faduku. I eventually sold sweets to my peers at primary. My brand was Triple S. Right now my brand is Skinny Sibusiso, currently available at Markham stores throughout the country. Thank you. But my brand in primary school was called Strong, Sexy and Sweet. That was my slogan. And I sold my sweets for 30 cents and my peers sold sweets for 20 cents. So because I added value on the same product, ngithengisa ama-heartbeat, ngithengisa nama-aprets, asawa. Yo, I made a lot of money for a kid at the time, you know. But you know, we don't know what God is doing in our life up until we look back. I didn't know that those were basics of business, of dealing one-on-one with clients, of brand building, of whatever it is that was happening to me. And later on, my mom slipped in makeup in my school bag to go show my teachers. And that's how I started selling makeup to my teachers at a primary school level. But I've always known that, man, there should be something bigger than what's happening. Hence, when you said you dropped out, I dropped out too, because I remember getting to the University of Johannesburg and 40,000 students from across the country, but I felt like there's a life outside this one. Life outside this one. There's a bigger life outside this one. After school, just like most black families, my education was not planned for, so I was forced to take a gap year. Left the Eastern School of Arts, Julius, and that is when I started building this. I really had a love for acting, voice work, presenting and stuff, but I believe God took me on a detour for 5 years to make me learn the business of everything. So through socks, I've learned the business of just about everything. And people, my business, my main business is not necessarily the actual product. Anybody can produce it. What I'm selling is the logo and the story, and which is why we're able to add value and sell a product that usually would be sold for $20, and we sell it for 150. You know, the early stages of Sibusiso Socks, how I started my business, and I think that's a lesson for anybody who wants to jump into anything, be it a relationship, or jump out of a relationship or something, or a business, or change careers and stuff. And by the way, we are not all meant to be entrepreneurs and be running businesses. And don't put yourself under that pressure. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, if you feel it's a calling and stuff, do it. But we're not all meant to go into this thing. It's not nice. I don't like it. I'm doing it because I'm unemployable. Nobody's gonna take me. Nobody's gonna take me. So how I started was, I was sitting at Eastern Mall with my mom. She gave me $70, and I went to Mr. Price. I bought socks that were sold for R5 each. I think they were $15. They marked them down to R5, repackaged them, and started selling them for 25 rands. And remember, of my background as a kid, I knew something about branding and stuff. So I wanted something that it would be a great tongue twister to say it. And I was 21, I was skinny, my name is Sibu, and I sell socks. So we'll call it Sibusiso Socks. And my first time being on television was on CNN International, after 7 months of starting the business. So how I started the business was, I started selling the business and I started making noise on social media, and I got to Tembisa, Masha, who at the time was on The Wild. He was top billing, he was brand ambassador for Peroni and other major brands. And imagine, at the time, you are this skinny 21-year-old who's trying to sell socks. I'm a dropout, I have an acting career that's not working out. So paisa namakausi. Get your life in order, and it really helped take my business to the next level. He became my brand ambassador. Immediately after that, my story was blasted throughout the world. Suddenly, guys in China, in Lagos, in Abu Dhabi, anywhere in the world knew that somewhere in Johannesburg, there's a tall, skinny guy who sells socks. And my life changed like this, in a flash. Like, I remember going a paperback brown in Bram and in Maboneng, and suddenly I'm sitting in any boardroom you can imagine in South Africa, selling socks. Immediately after that, we sold our socks to Spree, Africa's biggest online store. Had a great partnership for a year. But I've always knew that what's going to take my business to the next level is if I figure out distribution. Once I figure out distribution, I'll go to the next level. And it's something I'm still figuring out and learning right now. After our partnership with Spree, for a year, we moved on to Starter Forts. They closed down at the end of 2015. But that is where we're